gonna have us go on to the next game while I figure this out.
Well,
Okay, that's
worst comes to
fine.
worst, we can just, stream the game without the music. I
That,
don't believe.
yeah, I think we can do that. Would that be okay, Zach?
Yeah, that's fine.
What's the technical difficulty?
Yeah.
That's fine.
What?
I'll put the link to the itch page with the full audio in the game and a video of it is in the student showcase anyway, so yeah.
See this?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay.
I mean, this is already pretty impressive looking.
Yeah, thank you.
Like, having settings is actually pretty... It's rare that I see a Game Jam game with so, like, many, like, settings. Okay, let's see. A is move, P is pause. This is nice. I wish more games had a... Ooh, okay. I wish more games had a tutorial, like, in the game itself, as opposed to just, like, in a screen. Is this like a checkpoint?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, wow. That's neat.
I'm really excited about this next part. Yeah, just like following the... There you go. Yeah, that's ooh, that's weird.
So you need to use the block to block the water.
Close. Oh, I didn't realize the sign was blocking that. You have to like time it quickly. So like if you do it once, like you switch once, then yeah. All right, now press B.
Oh.
Yeah, you can. That's fine. You respawn. That's good. It's like your snake.
Okay.
And then you break the box. Oh. Or that too, yeah, that's fine. And that's it.
That's neat. So again, this was a game that was made specifically for this showcase, in the brief amount of time that we announced it till now, plus just like with finals going on and stuff. But this is a really neat concept. I think he could do so much with such a simple mechanic and just like flipping between these two like different ways of playing. Do you plan on actually like coming back to this and maybe expanding upon some of these ideas?
Maybe. I was thinking of maybe asking out the Lights Out devs, because they had a very similar concept if we could collaborate. Again, I don't want to promise anything. Also with like internship coming up and graduating soon and getting a job, we'll see. It would be cool though, like if there was like multiple options you could do and if you could jump. I really wanted to do a jump, but I didn't have the time. And I was worried it would just break a lot of the puzzles.
No, this is really, really neat, and I do hope to kind of see an expansion of this idea. Just because, again, I think there's like so many possibilities, and it's funny that you bring up the Lights Out devs. I think one of them also made the game Bonk on the arcade machines. I think Lights Out and Bonk are both really good examples of like very mechanic light games that work really well because there aren't like 50 different mechanics to design the game around.
Right.
Also another like just kind of nice thing, I like the borders on the sides of the game.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think with a lot of, it's nice that you played with the resolution. You have the resolution in this like letterbox almost.
Yeah.
But you decided to also fill that space instead of just leaving it black.
Yeah. I mean,
I like that choice.
as a dev secret, it's technically 16 by 9, but I use it as a UI image. So I made the borders in Photoshop, but the middle's transparent, and so when the UI image is in the canvas, it covers like the screen basically. I originally wanted to have like an actual 4:3 ratio, but I just figured this would be simpler, and I didn't want to experiment too much with the ratio stuff.
So I'm gonna open this up to questions now. Does anybody have any questions for Zach about anything regarding this game before we move on to the next?
Or comments, just general thoughts. Doesn't have to be a specific question.
Yep.
I was thinking if you do go back to this, maybe like you start off without a jump, and then like after a few levels you get some kind of power up that lets you jump, so then it doesn't completely ruin the beginning puzzles and stuff. Also, it'd be cool if like you played with the thermometer a bit more. Like if you stay in the ice mode for too long, you get too cold and then you die or something. If you stay in the fire mode for too long, you get too hot and die, something like that.
Yeah, I was thinking like when I first thought of this game, like having a budget where you'd have a limited amount of moves, and you have a certain budget, so it's like you can only spend X amount of dollars or save X amount of dollars to switch, and if you spend too much money, you fail the puzzle basically. But I didn't want to experiment with that for this because it's, again, proof of concept, something that I could just really focus on. But yeah, thank you. That's a good idea.
Yeah. Also, just before I forget, before we get too far into this, we are recording this, just in case if that freaks anybody out. We just want to let you guys know.
Yeah, thank you for the heads up. That's perfectly fine with me.
Okay. Yeah. But I think with that, we're actually going to move on to the next game. And next on our list, let me see.
It is Polaris, I believe.
Okay, and who's going to be playing that?
That would be me.
Okay.
Okay, I shall pull it up.
So Chris, you're gonna wanna
Polaxis, sorry.
close your stream, and I can actually post the list of what we'll be playing in what order in the Room 1 text, just so people can get an idea of when we might get to your game and all that.
Good idea.
Okay, are you guys able to hear it?
A little bit.
It is quiet.
Here.
I can hear it just fine.
Okay. Okay. So, this is a game by Anthony Gaturna and Tanner Cobb. I've said that in an interesting way. Sorry. Okay. Are either of the devs here tonight?
No. They're good friends of mine, though.
Okay.
Actually, didn't we play this the other day?
Yes, we did.
This game is actually really, really cool. But I'll let David kind of play and show it off.
So it's kind of just playing with magnets and trying to get the rock ball thing where you're wanting it to go by placing positive and negative charges. That just didn't work.
Yeah, let's throw in some like negatives to see how that kind of like messes
Yeah, this is...
the mechanic a bit.
Yeah, it ends up getting caught in there, so you have to be careful. And don't know. It takes a lot of. Oh,
Yeah, it's a lot of finicking around and
yeah.
slightly changing the positions of things, but once you do get into the hang of it, and I played this a little bit last week too with you guys, it is a lot of fun. Really cool
Yeah.
concept.
It's definitely a game that takes like a lot of trial and error. But once you get it, I think if you put the
Jeez,
the minus like right next to the goal and put more pluses like above the ball to kind of force it down.
yes. Something like that.
Close.
Not quite like that, apparently. There we go. Yeah.
Hey!
And you know, cute little animation, and you get points based off of how you how many you use, as well as
Like your time, like how much time it takes to get the ball in.
yeah.
Um,
Apparently that
As
only
we
needs
play-
one.
As we played in one of our GDSA meetings, we actually found quite a few ways to break the game and get away with like putting some of the positives and negative charges in like odd places.
Yeah, it's. I mean, the game's a lot of fun to mess around with, even if it's not all dev intended. It kind of is, because like the whole point of the game is to mess around, kind of. What I just said might not even be vaguely true now that I think about it some more, but
And I think we talked with Tanner about this. Him and his teammate were interested in making this into a mobile game over the summer. And just playing around with the idea of having this run on mobile, I think would be an excellent little time waster. That level took me forever to beat when we were playing it in GDSA, so...
yeah, I got lucky with it. The first time I played it, I seem to remember.
Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like Tanner is here, but does anybody have any questions for us that maybe we could answer about the game?
We did get to talk for a little while with the actual devs, so we are slightly more prepared for answering questions when they're not here.
Yes. Okay. We might move on to the next game.
Yeah, that does seem like that would be a good idea.
I'm
But,
super excited for the next one.
What is the next one?
Actually, the next two ones. Wink, wink.
That is...
It's me with Shred or Die.
Wait,
I have no idea what Shredder
crap.
is.
I've
I haven't
played
played
this, and I am super excited to see it again.
one. Okay.
I just want to say that the Polaxis game looks cool.
Yeah, no, like, they spent... Apparently they made this game in, like, a month, but me and the rest of GDSA, we spent most of GDSA just playing around with this game, and it's just, again, one of those games that has so little mechanics, but there's so much you can do with such little mechanics that I really like from Polaxis. Also, hello, Jeff.
Hello.
Hey, Jeff.
So our next game is Shred or Die. I have not played that one, and I think I will
Forgot.
kind of let Luke talk through his experiences.
All right, so I talked with Nicholas a little bit last week about this game. It's fairly short, but
I have played this one.
I mean,
have a lot
just
to
look
say
at this
about
game. I love the pixelated style, and even though there's not too much to it, it's good fun. Can people hear it or no?
No.
I
That's
cannot.
alright.
This was part of the. Was this part of the adapt game jam, or was this part of Game Design Workshop? I can't remember which one.
I believe this is a workshop game.
Yeah.
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 I want to say Workshop 1 and Advance?
Oh no, definitely Workshop 1 if it's one of the two, because I remember it from somewhere last semester.
I'm forgetting his name, but the student, is he here?
Nicholas? I do not know.
That's a shame, because he makes incredible 3D art in the Discord. So this is like more of a demo than like a full-fledged game, so it kind of ends here.
Yep. But, I mean, and you can play all these games, obviously, if you guys have access to the itch game jam. You want to check them out for yourselves, but it's short, but it's a lot of fun, in my opinion.
I think what's really special about this game is, again, it's really short, but it's rare that I find a game from, like, Workshop where such care was put into the environment. And again, like, the work that Nick, his name is Nick?
Nicholas.
What's his last name? I want to say it's
Green.
Yeah, Green. He just makes amazing 3D assets, and the lighting in this game is really good. I love, like, the PSX aspect ratio and aesthetic. I think this looks really good.
It really does.
Apparently the pixely aesthetic was partly an accident that he just kind of leaned into, where it was some compression issue. But, I mean, I really like the pixely aesthetic. I think it really adds a cool vibe to the game.
And again, unfortunately, the dev is not here. But does anybody have anything they want to say? Maybe the dev will catch the recording of this later on.
I want to ask them about how they managed to get this style in the game, because I've always wanted to make kind of like a Doom or Quake boomer shooter with this sort of style. I just don't know like how like they would go about doing that.
Yeah, I think I want to say, because I've attempted to do this style too, and when we eventually get to play max speed, my entry,
Woo!
I try to also go for a style like this. I think Nick nailed the style more, and I think it's just his talent with modeling that I think really nails the art style. But again, I do want to open this up to other people. Does anybody else have any comments about this game? Shredder Dot.
This game does look a bit familiar. I didn't see it before, but it kind of reminds me of a Nintendo 64 type game with the low poly models. I think it looks really cool. And I think it would be good if Nicholas expanded on this game. If he had free time.
I mentioned to him, like, an infinite mode would be fun, where it's just seeing how long you can last with swarms coming at you.
Definitely like
Really cool.
more enemies.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe optimize it a bit for the arcade machine or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like having only one joystick for, well, I mean, you could use two joysticks for like the right stick. That could work, but it would be interesting to say the least.
I wonder how that would work on first person.
Maybe
The arcade machine.
moving could be the right, the left joystick, and the camera could be the right joystick. You have to use like your ring finger, like coming off the joystick to the button. Or something.
Could also just have it that the buttons are translated to WASD. You don't have to have a joystick for movement necessarily.
It's true. Okay.
But yeah.
So I
Alright.
do think we're ready to jump into the next game.
How do I stop streaming?
The
Oh, there we go.
X on screen. There we go.
Hit the green.
And now I get to figure out how to do it.
Yeah. So this is
with my-
Have we introduced ourselves at all?
I don't think we have.
Maybe we should do that. I
I
guess I'll
prefer
start.
being a mystery.
I mean, we're only 20 minutes in.
Do not
Okay.
perceive me.
So this is a GDSA event. This is the Game Design Student Association game showcase. My name is Chris Camp, and I am the vice president of the GDSA, and I will pass the mic to you, David.
I am David Eisenberg. I am the president of the GDSA. Megan, if you want to go next.
I'm Megan. I'm the treasurer of the GDSA.
And I'm Luke. I'm the secretary of the GDSA.
Yeah, we want to make sure that everybody's games get a bit of a spotlight, and we want to help strengthen the major and all of that fun stuff you've been getting added about in the Discord. So, with that, I think we'll jump into the next game.
Could we just say something really quickly, concerning this Game Jam / showcase, and kind of clarify why it's called a Game Jam when most of the games weren't made during this time?
Yeah, I think it's just mostly because we plan to have a Game Jam and a game showcase, but the school only recently allowed us to become a club. So we're kind of like smushing these two concepts together to make sure we can get them both in before the end of the semester. So.
Okay, thank you.
But yeah, Megan, you're up.
I am up. Can this run in... Am I echoing?
No.
Okay. Can this run in browser?
And, but it's the worst way to play it.
Okay.
I would suggest downloading it. The next game is... Are we doing max speed?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's go!
This was my game workshop game. I worked with it with Nicholas Elise, Ben... Oh god, I need to say his last name. Ben... Hylock? Is that... Toby, is that Ben's last name? So Ben.
Yo, that's awesome.
Wait, it said something about floor carrot.
Yeah.
Very
I'll
loud.
get it. Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
There is a volume slider in the game.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, if you can real quick, do you mind clicking on Retro PSX?
Yes.
So this was our attempt to get the game to look like a PlayStation game. I think it's okay. Like I said, I think, Nick nailed it. But, yeah. So, I'll let Megan play.
Yeah. So...
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
You've added quite a bit since I last played it.
Oh, no.
Trying our best to do as much as we
Oh,
can.
okay. I think I get it.
Alright. So yeah, WAS to move left and right, and arrows to perform tricks. And each arrow is a different trick.
Okay. I like the palm trees.
Yeah, I didn't
so
make
fun.
this.
What happens when you crash into a car?
Ooh, let's
Uh,
find out.
I want to know.
Do as
These are
many
the
tricks as
important
possible.
questions.
Alright.
I'll land on this
Alright.
car. Oh, yeah. No.
You need to get 3,000 points in 30 seconds. Or else you
Really?
lose. Yes.
Oh, God.
Megan, you almost ran over Chris.
That sucks.
It sucks that you almost ran over him.
And you
Oh,
can
I
hold
appreciate the high score right now. What are these? Oh,
They're people. You
I
can
like that
hit
you can
them
hit
for
them.
points. You have lost. Give it
I
another
have
try, though.
lost.
Also, I think this is the first game from Fitchburg State that has like a song with lyrics.
Oh, wow.
I'm not sure about that, but we got some like really cool students from Berkeley working on this. But yeah, give it another shot.
All right. Now I
60
think I know what's
seconds.
going on.
If you land with multiple tricks in the air, you get like a multiplier. Try not to land on cars. That does not give you a multiplier.
should. I'm really good at it.
Maybe we should give points for hitting cars.
Do you get points for running into people?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, you do?
Yes. Not a lot, and if you go on the sidewalk, you'll actually slow down.
So how long did this take to make? It looks like a lot of people were involved.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was a semester-long project. You have a lot of points to make. If you can make 4,000 in one jump. Alright, land it.
I don't think so.
Alright, you made it to the next round. No, you
Oh.
didn't. Keep going. But yeah, I guess I'll kind of talk about this as you play. So, this was made by my group, and then I'll name off all of their names. Nicholas Elise, Max, I don't know his last name, unfortunately. Ryan Normand, myself, and Benjamin Pilosic.
Polaxis,
Yeah.
I think it is.
Yes, Polosic. I always mess up his name. But, yeah, we all worked on the game. I did the 3D modeling for Max, and the animations for Max. Also, hold in some of those tricks. I worked so hard on those animations.
The Sonic Adventure 2 reference is really awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm also like, oh, go ahead. Sorry.
But yeah, actually, no, now's a good time to kind of open it up to questions. Oh, one more thing. This game actually has an online leaderboard, so anyone playing can try to get the worldwide max score for this game. You could play it in browser, you could download it, and it will, as long as you're connected to the internet, it will, like, save your score. But yeah, does anybody have any questions?
Megan, maybe also quickly change out of retro so we can see the game.
Oh
in a
yeah.
more,
I have to
completed
die, I
state.
think.
You do have to die, unfortunately.
Okay, hold on.
Damn.
Hit lots of cars.
My one question is, how are you guys so talented?
True. That is a good question.
I think everyone in this major, by the time they get to the point where I'm at, I'm a senior, I am confident that the skills that you'll learn through taking these classes will get you to where I'm at right now. So, I know that's not really an answer, but I think you all will be able to make things just like this, or even better.
Holy crap, the difference.
Yeah. Looks great
Yeah.
both ways.
Do you think this game is really cool and character design kind of reminds me of Captain Falcon?
Yeah, that's really cool.
I think I was lucky in that Ben Polosic was in my group. He's one of the best character designers, like, ever. I think he's gonna be great. And I actually think he's working on a comic right now. Go on Twitter and check out Scoops. He's been showing a lot of those comic panels in the 2D art channel here. But go up and sign up for his Twitter and check out his comics. He
Yeah,
does really good stuff.
I've seen those comics, and I think they should be in the FSU
Babies.
newspaper. That would be
Yeah, that would be cool. Does anybody else have any questions?
Yes, I have a question.
Let me start with Peter, because he keeps on saying he has a question. He keeps getting pushed
Damn.
aside. Yeah, so Peter, what's up?
So, first question I have is the level infinite? And if it is, how do you manage to do that?
Yes, so it is infinite, and I have no idea. That was Nick Elise designed the infinite system and also designed like a lot of the code base for this game. And when it comes to the online leaderboard, he also designed that too. So I wish he were here. Unfortunately, he's not. But he did amazing work. when it comes to like the programming base. And actually, if I had to like pick an MVP of the team, it was him. He like really kicked ass on this project.
You said Nick Elise?
Yes, Nicholas Elise.
Yeah, okay. I'm probably gonna have to ask him because, fun fact, I'm gonna be rooming with him next semester.
You are incredibly lucky. I suggest you try your best to be a sponge and soak up as much of his knowledge as possible. He is brilliant.
Cool.
But,
I will have to ask him. And then just a more in general question. For advanced game workshops, I'm taking that next semester. Is it just one semester long project, or you do like small projects and then you have like this going on in the background?
One semester long project.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
I'm in Chris's class, and I can confirm like advanced is like really helpful.
Yeah, great. I do want to answer Toby's question, and then I actually want to open up to Nicholas Green, who just joined the call, because we just showed off your game. Oh no, you fell out of bounds! Don't do this! Give up!
Oh no,
Okay,
no.
good, perfect. The game's good now.
What? Wait,
But,
what happened?
I
Nothing
think
happened.
on Game Over, I think the script just like that infinitely generates the road just stops.
That's
I don't think
pretty
we
good.
lingered on the Game Over for too long. But anyways, Toby, what was your question?
Yes, first, I'd like to say this is probably my favorite game to come out of Advanced Game Workshop. And also, secondly, is the leaderboard, is the leaderboard synced between both the browser version and the Windows version?
As far as I know, yes. I think it doesn't matter what version of the game you play, it will update the leaderboard. Even if, like, we added a new version that was download exclusive and we didn't update the web version, regardless, it would still save, like, the information. Which is weird to think about. Even in the Unity editor itself, like, our high scores would track there too.
Interesting. I have one more question before I don't. Would you ever plan on working more on this in the coming future, or just a far future?
I've gotten a lot of good responses from a lot of people who have played, who think this would be like a game that should be fleshed out a little bit more. During the summer, me and a few people are going to be working on a project that we're planning on selling, and we're trying our best to get, like, into the industry. However, we are looking for small projects after that, and maybe we'll come back to max speed. We do have, like, a ton of ideas that didn't get in, namely, like, multiple characters that we wanted to implement, that we would really love to. But again, it's just, like, a matter of the right time to come back. So, unfortunately, I do want to keep things moving along, and I do want to give Nick some time to answer some questions, because we did check out his game a little bit earlier, and he is here now. Nick, can you actually unmute yourself if you want to talk?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, but yeah, we played your game a little bit earlier. It was really cool. And we had some questions about how you managed to get the PSX N64 look.
Yeah, totally. So, I was obviously inspired a lot by, like, PlayStation 1 sort of era visuals going forward. So, to do that, I think all of the models were made in Blender. I just did, like, a standard, like, low poly workflow, considering, like, poly count, and, like, other, like, limitations. Then, when texturing, I can't remember if I did textures in Blender as well or in Photoshop, but I used a small file size, and disabled, like, anti-aliasing and, like, filtering to sort of give it that, like, compressed, pixelated look. And then I think the biggest sort of contribution to that was the like, visual filter that I had over the whole project on Unity. I don't remember specifically off the top of my head how it works, but essentially it instead of the camera just sort of rendering and then displaying that to the player, it renders to an image, which is then sort of displayed to the player. But the image's size is a certain like aspect ratio that's really compressed. I'm not sure exactly what the resolution was, but essentially it just the camera just sort of records whatever the player's seeing, and then that image plane compresses it down to a certain resolution to give everything that kind of pixely look. And then beyond that, I just used standard like Unity post-processing effects. I figured out how to do bloom, which is great because I love bloom. It's a crutch. As well as some like brightness contrast adjustment, things like that.
Yeah, that's awesome. I never even would think to like put a filter over the game, but honestly that makes a lot of sense. Okay, so I do think we should jump into the next project, which is secure the Baguette.
Ah, yes. That would be me. Okay.
Okay. I want to say this is one of the Advanced Game Workshop games in the class that I'm in now.
Yep.
Zach, are you working? No, you're not working.
No, sadly. We're doing Train Outbreak. It's still in the oven.
Okay.
Hold on. I forgot to, hold on.
Yeah, I want to say this game is like a stealth game. I know David Wu worked on this. I always like his work.
Okay, can you guys see it alright?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, this is... Yeah. No, it's... You move a little bit more slowly, I think.
No, you just hold shift to crouch.
Really? Okay.
It just showed that.
I couldn't read it either time. Like, I'm not changing, like, at all when I press shift. I'm going slower, that's it.
So they haven't implemented yet.
Oh, that would make sense.
We'll say our workshop games are like due next week, so I think there's still like a lot of things being added to this game and all the other workshop games.
I did not notice that the first time I played through this level. So that's pretty cool that they're collectibles.
Ooh, that's cool. The music changed.
Yeah.
Are there any devs of this game in the call right now?
Yeah, I genuinely can't tell. Like, I assumed the game was finished. I didn't realize it wasn't. It's like, I can't tell if, like, the T-pose is temporary or permanent.
I imagine it's temporary.
Okay. Because, I mean, I could have seen it going either way, especially for a Game Jam game. I mean, this isn't a Game Jam game, but... Yeah, I do like the music changing. It's a nice touch. Something I tried to implement in one of my earlier games as well, but it didn't turn out as well. People can attest to that.
Wonder if you could stand behind that block, and if, as long as the light isn't physically hitting you, try crouching behind it actually, even though the animation isn't there.
Okay. It does seem... Okay, that one... So I was able to stand behind it. I was holding shift. So that might have adjusted it a bit. Hard to say. Wow, I am not
something I noticed
not very
there
good at
is
this.
That, the guard noticed you, but didn't quite see you yet, and then it ran to you.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's some kind of sound mechanic that isn't fully implemented into the game.
I mean the thing it mentioned that the cameras couldn't hear you. So I think that is the case.
A wonderful shot.
Yeah. Okay, I see I can get through there. Guard is holding a key card, sneak close to him, press E to pick his pocket. Okay.
I do think you need to shift here.
Yeah, I'm shifting.
Oh.
Well, I was
Okay.
shifting.
I think we'll kind of,
Yeah, I'm not skilled enough at this to make progress, I think, in the limited amount of time we have. I'm trying to get to the other
concepts
games.
behind that game are really neat, and I think once the animations are implemented, I think the playability of that game is definitely going to go up. Because from what I saw, I imagine crouching is important, and you could hide behind obstacles. And again, before you were caught by a guard, I noticed that it detected you were there and ran up to you and then caught you. So I think there might even be a sound mechanic. Like maybe if you're moving too fast, they can pick up on the sound. But, I'm really interested to see what that game is going to be a week from now.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like the devs are here, so I think we're just going to move on to the next game, which I think I'm streaming, and it's one I'm really excited about. I am streaming. Project Smallbot Light. And this was made by Toby. So Toby, if you want to jump in.
Woo!
Yeah. While
Let's go, Toby.
set this up, do you want to talk about some of the background to this game?
Yes. So I essentially made this game all the way back in high school of 2016 or 2015, and it took me a solid 2 years to make on my own. Honestly, it is a game that I made for multiple reasons around the time that I do not want to get too into, but it's just oh cool, I always want to make a sequel to a game, and this is a sequel to a game that I was working on when I was a kid and stuff. So yeah. This was not made in Unity, by the way, so this was pretty hard to update, but yeah, it has a lot of quality of life updates added in this version.
I had to turn this down quite a bit on my end, but can everybody else hear and see the game?
It's still a bit quiet on my end.
I can't really hear it, yeah.
Yeah, I can see it, but you turned it way, way, way down.
My extreme volume is pretty low.
I just maxed my stream volume. I don't know if turning up Chris's volume is gonna do anything.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
I maxed mine and it's fine.
Yeah, I mean it's good now.
So Toby, you said you didn't make this via Unity. What did you make it with?
So back when Unity 5 was a thing, and it didn't really rely on C#, it was more on Java, and I hated Java. I made this within an old 2D engine called Click Team Fusion 2.5. This engine's actually surprisingly really powerful. It's the creator of the FNAF series actually made FNAF 1 through 6 on this engine. And like, if you ever heard of a game called Freedom Planet, it was also made in this engine as well. I think a few other notable games is like AVGN Adventures and all that like jazz. We're all made within this engine, and it's pretty reliable if you want to learn the functionalities and like basics of programming. But like, it's a simple like get it and learn game development type tool set stuff.
Love that they're more student games. I feel need to have characters. I know that's like a weird thing to say, but I find like a lot of student games are just like these. I don't want to say soulless. Soulless is the wrong word, but they're just the game. I feel like this game has like a ton of character, and I also love the parallax scrolling.
Question mark.
If anyone else has any questions they'd like to ask or comments, now is probably a decent time.
So Toby, did you make the music for this game when you first worked on it, or has it been like updated since then?
The music is actually an interesting journey. So back then, I only knew how to make very basic chiptune music on a tracker software. And so like what I did was I went on an old forum and like tried to search for like music composers who would like make original pieces for this game. And I managed to meet this like UK music composer at the time who kind of struck a deal where he owns all the songs, but it's uniquely made for this game. And I could use these songs whenever I can for free.
Awesome.
So like, yeah, it was a really nice like time working with a composer around that time, and like just kind of just sending him videos of what the level is like and like composing for it. But yeah.
As always, it's a bop.
I know I've talked to you about this personally, but I think it'd be good to kind of bring it up here. What's your stance on like maybe coming back to this concept, like now that you know so much more about development?
It's funny you asked that, because originally I was like, oh, I never want to touch this game again. But I talked with my roommate a few times after like resurfacing this game, and like there is a lot more content that I finished that I like than I originally expected. And like I think since I had the assets, after a few projects that I'm working on with other people, I want to like kind of come back to this someday and remake it in Unity, and then like work off from there.
Definitely feel the same way about my project, where it's just like I wanted to do a lot more with it, but because I had like deadlines, I made it for my final project for Game Workshop, so I like literally down to the wire by the time that first level was finished. But I always think about going and adding more. I'm probably going to over the summer.
Yeah, it would be awesome to like see like multiple levels, even if it wasn't like a full scale like Doom game, just like maybe arcade style where it's like one world of like a couple levels, and like if you die at any point you have to restart the whole game. That would be cool.
I feel like that could be fun. I was thinking like along the lines of like probably like 3, maybe 5 if I'm feeling crazy. Maybe like a horde mode. I don't know. It's definitely something that I thought about though.
I think that you missed it earlier, but I think like most of the comments about your game were like, we want more. So,
yeah, I definitely feel the same way.
But yeah, I suggest folks definitely play this game on their own time. Unlike a lot of the games that come from school, there's a lot of stuff in this game. So like, because again, this was like made before Toby even came to school here, and he had the time to like make more or less a full game. So I do highly suggest. Okay.
You gotta turn on that light
Yes.
there. There you go.
Yeah, it even has wacky, crazy mechanics like that. So definitely check this game out.
I would love to boast that this lighting system thing is not something that this engine does like by default. I had to make it by hand. It was not easy.
It's really well
That's
done.
neat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I do think I'm gonna stop it here though and move on to the next game. Also, real quick, I love this. I love this. I love how there's like a cute little opening animation to the game. More games need that. But yeah. And with that, what's our next game? It is
Circuit Defense.
Circuit Defense. Yeah, are any of the devs for Circuit Defense here?
I do not think so. That would be David Marshall and 2 Ryans.
Okay.
Which I cannot remember the names of.
I am familiar with David Marshall and some of his work. So, and I think I played a little bit of this on the arcade machine. So, if any of you guys are in school, you could play this next game on the arcade machines right now. If you're into tower defense, I definitely do that. But yeah, with that, Luke.
Alright, people can see this. Yeah?
Yep.
Cool. So, I believe it's a fairly simple game. David got to show me this when I caught him in the library one day, and he played it a bit for me, but basically it's an infinite wave tower defense game. Every time you get time to set up your turrets, and then you press space for a new wave, and I mean, it's a pretty classic tower defense game as far as I can tell. Yeah.
I think I want to say David worked on this game a while ago, and he recently updated it with new content. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to play long enough to get to the boss he added, but he added a boss, and again, like, this game is an infinitely playing game, so I think there's a lot of playtime that could come out of this.
I'm fairly certain the boss comes wave 10, I want to say, so I could probably go up to that and then stop there.
Yeah.
Maybe show off some of the other weapons that he's made. He's programmed, but yeah. There's 5 other levels too, so that's pretty cool.
I think with each kill, you get like a little bit of currency, which you could then use to buy different weapons, which are on the bottom screen. I always get scared when making games with like a grid-based system of any kind.
Yeah.
I have never been able to get that work in an elegant way, so this is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I also like that there's a custom mouse. Not many games have that, and I think it's always a fun touch.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if people can hear it. I don't think so, but there is sound effects, and they're pretty funky.
Yeah, I don't think we can.
If anyone has any comments, please feel free to jump in. Granted.
Oh, there it is.
Ooh, there we go.
This game is also on the arcades and it plays like a beauty on it as well.
Yeah.
I think this is a really cool concept for a tower defense game where it's like inside a computer drive things. Like
Yeah.
it's like shooting little viruses or malware. I think that's really cool. As like a huge fan of tower defense, I think it's really neat to see it being made. Kind of interested in how it was made because I kind of want to make mine. It's really
I can't speak for the other two devs, but David himself is one of the
Oh.
most, like, approachable people, like, I've ever met. So I think he'd be, like, really happy. Even if you just, like, DM'd him and, like, asked him questions directly, I think he'd be really happy to kind of share some of his secrets.
Yeah.
His name is David Marshall, and in the school Discord, I think we all have to use our actual names. Thank God, because it'd be so hard to find people. But yeah, David, again, very approachable dude.
He's
I
also
think
a
he'd
lab
be-
tech,
Yes.
so you can find him pretty easily just working.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Thanks.
Alright, but I'm gonna exit out of this now.
Yeah. And again, check it out. It's on the arcade machines right now. It's totally good. Next on the list, we have The Outstanding Life of Jakko the Woundless Egg. I'm really curious. I haven't played this one. I want to see what this is.
I played a little bit of it, and it's very fun. I love the characters.
Okay.
I don't think Anthony is here. Anthony G.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
I
But
know.
I am really excited to see this one. Are you playing Megan?
Yes, I am.
Also.
Can everyone hear it?
Yeah.
It's got fun music. Let me make sure. It's a turn-based game,
Ooh.
so
I wish I knew it was. Maybe it says on the itch page. Was this like a class game or?
I can check that right now.
I don't remember.
I don't think it says.
RPGs are one of the hardest games to make, in my opinion. And honestly, if this individual made an RPG for class, that's pretty, one, ballsy, and two, cool. Especially for pulling it off.
Okay, if you don't mind me asking, why do you say it's really difficult to make? Because I definitely would have thought it's the other way around, as someone who's never made an RPG, so wouldn't really know.
RPGs have a lot of systems that you need to manage, and it's incredibly hard to make those systems fun. It's incredibly challenging to find the fun in an RPG. Another aspect of RPGs that are like really difficult is I think people expect a narrative from an RPG, and as students, we don't necessarily have the time to write an interesting RPG, especially for like a classroom project.
Yeah, okay.
This is also the same dev who worked on Polaxis with Tanner, apparently.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Another thing with
I do appreciate Turt.
Another thing with RPGs is it's a bit difficult to really balance out enemies and stuff. If you're doing it by from scratch, you have to like balance out like enemies, other stats, and all that stuff.
What were you gonna say, Megan?
I appreciated Turt, but I just killed him. So I feel kind of bad.
He should.
The
Jakko's kind
animations
of
for
a
this game's
monster.
impressive.
These are really impressive. I wonder if he's
Or
using Unity bones to make these animations. I wish we had the context for this game, because this is a class game. This is really impressive.
I have a little bit of context. I'm pretty sure this was a solo project for 2D game design. Because I
Wow.
know he's in my class.
That's cool. I wish we got more of those 2D game design class games because the output for those games have been amazing. Megan, do you want to talk about some of the mechanics?
Yeah, there's like a, I think this is like a melee attack, but, and then there's a range attack, and then you gain magic back too, and I think you have to figure out what works against what enemy the most. And I'm kind of getting it, I think. You just go for it. You get him.
Kill the animal.
I feel so bad. He looks so cool.
Yeah, like so far I think Jakko's kind of the bad guy. He's just like killing a lot of animals. Also, who deals the first blow? Is it Jakko or the monster?
It's Jakko.
Yeah.
He's the instigator.
Yeah, that is probably usually a pretty good sign as to who's in the right.
He's just a typical adventurer, you know.
I think he's gonna get me. Hmm?
There's not a way to heal yourself.
There isn't, no.
Also, I
Oh,
think
wow.
this would be a cool mobile game to port it over.
Potentially be a really cool mobile game. Yeah.
So I think, I know it's supposed to be like turn-based, and I think it would also work kind of well if the monsters were like constantly attacking you after a bit. So you don't just sit there trying to decide what to do and then the monsters just standing.
Yeah. So,
I think it would work both ways.
I do want to go back, or I do want to move on to the next game.
Yeah.
But, before we do that, did he come back? Yeah, so, Nicholas Elise, the individual who did a lot of the programming for Max Speed, which is a game we already played, he is here, so I know there were a couple of questions about the level generation and how that worked in Max Speed along with the online leaderboard. So now is totally the time to ask Nick those questions.
Hello, I actually had those questions. So, first, I was just interested in how you did the infinite level generation system, because that's really neat.
Yeah, so each kind of road piece is a prefab, and there's a trigger at the end of it. And then when the player hits the trigger on a road tile, it spawns a new tile at the very front of the road, and then it will delete your current road piece after 2 seconds.
Alright, cool. I'm gonna need to talk to you a lot more, because I think I'm in the same apartment as you next semester, so it's definitely a lot you
Yeah.
be asking me.
I think I'll do like a proper presentation. Peter, I believe, I want to say he had a Visions game this semester, right?
I did. I had Sight Apocalypse.
And I have, I think everyone should check that game out, and I think I've, in your class, just like looked over your shoulder and seen what you're working on, and there's a lot of cool things you're working on that, I'm excited to see what kinds of games you're going to be making next semester and going forward, and the fact that you two are like going to be, I think, dorming together, I think will be a good experience for both of you. So,
Yeah.
Thank you.
but with that, does anybody have any more questions for Nick?
How does the online leaderboard thing work?
So I use a Unity package called Loot Locker, and you just create an account, get free hosting, and you just write functions that authenticate the player, and then submit the score and get the score at different times.
Yeah.
In dev, if you look at the dev resources channel, I posted links
think I didn't. I skimmed through those, and I think that's a pretty good resource to figure out how to get an online leaderboard in like your games as well. But yeah, any more?
Hey Nick, did you program the UI switching of like the resolutions, or is that Max? And if
That's
s-
Max.
Ah, damn. Okay, I was gonna ask you like how y'all managed to like get that filter on to make it look like that PS1 game, or at least for your game. I want to see how.
I
Like,
did
y'all-
help Max with it. It's not really a filter, we're just directly changing the resolution.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the way Nicholas Green did it was, I think, produced a better result. If you want the cheap way to fake PSX/N64 art style, make really shitty 3D models and also lower your resolution. But if you want to make something that looks like really spectacular, I'd highly suggest maybe talking to Nick and getting more details on how he got the filter and got all of that working.
Okay.
So I do
Yeah,
truly
definitely.
believe that
Actually,
like, yeah, go on, Nick.
I was just gonna say, I was looking. We were showcasing these games. I found the tutorial. I followed along. It's like 5 minutes. It's pretty simple. I can just post that in one of the resource chats.
Yes, please
Yeah.
do.
Yes, please. Thank you.
No idea where I would put that. Just 3D art. Why not?
But I think we're gonna move on to the next game now, which is we are at Beyond This Life.
That is me.
Awesome.
I gotta see like the update to it, because I played it. It was cool, but now there's an update, which makes me excited.
Yeah, this is a 2D game design final that I worked on with a couple people. Catherine Sawyer and Kyria Bentley, both really good with art and stuff. I was a solo programmer, so that's where my role kind of fits in that game.
I have worked with Kyria before, and I think instantly when I saw this game, when before this all started, we all picked like games to play and showcase here. I jumped at the opportunity to play this one. I even played a little bit before the stream. One, because like I can instantly recognize Kyria's artwork at this point, but as I was playing it, I actually really like a lot of things about this game, and I think for this, I'm gonna just kind of shut up and let the game do the talking. I think that might be the best way to showcase this, and unfortunately, I don't believe I'm going to be able to play through the whole thing. And honestly, that might be better. It might get other people to kind of jump in and play this game. But this one's really neat. Granted, they're all really neat, but in particular, there's a lot of things I really like about this game.
Thank you. Also, a fun little fact, we showed this to the art director behind the board game group, and he really liked the game, so a little proud about that. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I really
Awesome
like it.
game.
I think it's like artistically, this game's like on point.
I would recommend playing the Windows build because the WebGL build does a little bit of a disservice, but yeah.
Yes, I can do that. However, is this... How many games do we have left? Okay, this is the last game before we go into the capstone stuff, so I think I do need to just kind of... sip. Just one moment. Got this line. Here. Okay. Beyond this light. I shall stream. The game opens. people see this?
Yes.
And
No,
can
no.
hear it?
We can hear it, we cannot see it. We just see the file explorer.
Okay, this might honestly be the same problem as before. Wait. I definitely don't want to play this game without sound. I think the best move, unfortunately, might be to play through browser. Just because I know that works.
Alright, cool, that's fine.
Yeah, I apologize.
Yeah.
Just make sure.
It's just that me and WebGL have like a hate-hate relationship. I'm not really a big fan of WebGL, but I decided to make a build anyway.
I completely understand. Also, people who are interested in playing max speed, please download the game. It's cool that it runs on WebGL, but you'll be playing at like 15 frames per second. Please let me know if you guys can hear this game.
Can't hear anything right now.
Still cannot.
I can hear
I
stuff.
heard it.
Oh, it's just very.
Oh yeah, it starts off very quiet.
Shall
One
I-
little fact, the
Yeah, we're good.
buttons are actually traditionally made. I actually took pictures of notebook paper and did that.
Oh,
That's
go ahead.
awesome. I really love when games have that scrapbook paper effect.
Jump into it and just kind of let the game do its thing.
Cool. I'll keep myself quiet then.
Oh, I didn't even notice before, like, this is, like, a weird pseudo 3D. That's neat. Sorry, I said I was gonna be quiet, but...
Yeah, it's 2.5D, so it's like 3D floor, like plain background. So yeah.
God, I didn't even have an inventory. And again, I think this is where I stopped, just because I didn't want to, like, really jump into it. But... Org stores. Okay. Can I use this on... Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's only a few items you need to investigate, but you just need to, before you leave the level, just investigate everything.
Gotcha. she's a detective?
Yeah, she's not supposed to look like it because she's originally a babysitter, but after a certain incident, she decided to become a detective. So like that's like right before she died, she became a detective. So she doesn't really look the part. So,
I think this is really funny because I think so. A few years back, I worked on a game with Kyria called Juniper Jazz: The Great Ghost Detective, and it's about a young ghost girl who is also a detective.
Yeah,
So
detecting a theme here.
there's only one more item you have to look at. It's if you see like the little like morgue boxes over there, then you can click on hers.
Sorry, what's her name?
Clementine.
Ooh, Godot, what are you doing? Get out of here. Okay, Clementine. Oh, goodness. So I think I'm gonna stop here, just because like I want others to like jump into this game and experience it themselves, and I think we got like a good look at like what the gameplay is.
Yeah.
But I
feel
do.
like
No, go on.
I said I feel like if you want to learn more about Clementine herself, that's where we really spent the second level doing. So I guess that's a really good way to stop it, because like the first level was originally what I had done, and then we got 2 more weeks to work on the project, and we spent it like fleshing out her character a lot more in the game. So if you want to learn more about Clementine herself, then that'd be a good just kind of like segue to play the game yourself.
Does anyone have any statements? Because I have a ton, but I want to make sure other people like, talk before I just kind of gush about this.
I'm a huge lover of detective work stuff and like detective games and murder mystery games, and I think this game looks really cool and really interesting, and I love the look of it. Like the text boxes are like this weird scribbly thing. It's a big notebook into the game. I think it looks really nice, and I think it definitely could be a thing that's worked on a lot more in the future, added to it and stuff. What game design thing can you make this?
This is all Unity, and also a fun little thing. The dialogue system, like kind of like my prized possession in this game, is the dialogue system is completely custom. I didn't use any like imported packages. It's like everything's like pretty much hand coded.
Yeah, I was just wondering because the history skip and auto buttons look a lot like some other like visual novel.
I took a lot of
programming.
experience. Yeah, I took a lot of experience from Ren'Py, if you're familiar with that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, so
Why did
that,
you have a V-Sync up? Sorry for interrupting, but
yeah. So there's a game I'm working on in 3D game development where we needed VSync for it. Toby specifically mentioned we was looking at us, like our game, was like, do you have VSync on? And we're like, no. Like, you should have that as an option. I'm like, I discovered it, and ever since I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna start adding this to games. So I just added it there, just in case, because I think it's really nice.
Does it make? Oh,
let's do David first and then Zach.
yeah, it's fine.
So David, what was your question?
I was just asking what PC.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were David. Jonathan. Yeah. Sorry about that. Do you want to explain VSync? Yeah.
So VSync, it's a little bit of a foreign concept to me, but it's kind of like how frames are drawn. There's like some kind of like buffer. I'm not the best person to explain VSync. I just kind of know what results it produces, but it does with the frame count. Just so it's like if you turn on VSync, the frames run a lot smoother together. So it's like it's something that you see a lot in like games that like look really smooth with like 60 FPS. You'll often see like VSync is built into those games.
It's kind of like an interpolation.
Kinda. I'm not the best on like the technical aspect of it, but I just know it makes game look smoother if it's not looking smooth.
Does anybody else have any questions? Zach, you had something.
Yeah. What was it? Damn, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, you can come back to me. Honestly, like, I forgot about it.
I'm gonna gush about this game a little bit. One, the animations are fantastic. I've worked with Furia before. Really good stuff. I saw that you were also listed as an artist here. So Peter knows you did some animation.
I did pretty much any UI animation, like Clementine like jumping a little bit or like things fading in and out. I did, and also the character concept itself. Like Clementine is a character I've had for years, and there's a lot to her character. Like I dumped, like we needed like the original game design, like the game concept was like we need this like London detective that's a ghost or something, and like, hey, I have this character from London that I've had for a few years now, so we decided to work her into the game, and she's like, I dumped a 20-page lore document on like her entire like backstory. I still apologize. I still apologize to the team, but there's a lot of
I think
character behind
your ghost detective needs to fight my ghost detective. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, both can be in that Smash Bros. Game.
Maybe.
Oh my god, the FSU Smash game. Like, that needs to happen.
It would be amazing if there were people who were working on that.
Fingers
I
crossed.
wouldn't know anything about if that were actually a thing, but it'd be amazing if someone did.
Fingers crossed by the time that the game starts development, I'm out of my internship so I can help out.
But yeah, I don't want to gush too long about your game. It's excellent. I will be playing that through. Maybe not tonight, but at some point I will take some time and play through it. But yeah, really good. I do want to move on to our final two games. And I want to stop and just note that these are the capstone games of this semester. I think I've spent a lot of time playtesting Germinate, and honestly, I think that game is astounding and very beautiful. And I'm excited to see who's playing Germinate tonight.
It's gonna be me.
Okay, I'm very excited to see Luke's impression on it. I haven't spent too much time with Ridu, but I am interested in seeing more of it. So I think we're gonna actually start with Ridu.
Okay. It is very loud, so this is gonna be. I definitely thought I was gonna need it for the Baguette game, but I think I'm probably going to need to use my volume adjustments for this. Okay, can you guys see it and hear it all right?
I can.
Sorry, what?
I can see.
Okay.
Yep, it's coming through okay.
Okay, can you guys hear it as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I have not spent all that much time with the game yet. Oh. That's pretty cool. The eyes kind of denote the ammo.
That's neat. Those animations are really nice too.
Did Veronica work on this?
I don't know. Veronica works on a lot of stuff.
I was gonna say, because the visual style is very reminiscent of a lot of the work.
Are you talking about me, Veronica, or is there another Veronica?
You, Veronica.
No, I have not worked on this.
Huh.
Hello, sorry, I just unmuted. Listen, I'm part of this capstone group. I'm actually the producer of this group. So yeah, this was an experience. I know I'll be saying a lot tomorrow. Anybody who's going to the postmortem tomorrow, I'll say somewhat of the same stuff. But yeah, this was a fun game to work on.
Oh, nice checkpoint placement.
But initially we were looking to do like a 3D Doom-like game with a bug theme. So if you right click up there, well, there's a little tutorial bar up there where if you follow it, it will progress you through it. But it's mostly, yeah.
Try standing back and letting the grapple like pull you in. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, you can use arrow keys to move with the grapple.
Yes, the moving with the... Okay, I see. I find it completely possible that I just completely missed that, so I apologize. Yeah, I like... There's, like, I really like the eyes being the, ammo. I think that's really cool.
Ammo, yeah.
Yeah. Also, well, that's, like, there's a lot of cool little details in this.
Yeah, I think, yeah, our level designer did very well, Emily's here. But that reload, got put in about, like, 3 weeks ago. Because when we were talking to Rockstar, we had a ton of UI everywhere.
Oh, whoops!
It was looking ugly, so we implemented a new health system and a reload and ammo system.
Wow.
Yeah, you guys are done working on this?
I didn't even notice that the eyes close as you shoot. That's so neat.
I honestly only noticed it because I was shooting around and then I reloaded and I saw something weird happening. Okay, so here's one thing that I'm noticing. I cannot see any of the ammo after I shoot it.
What do you mean?
Like, I might be, like, I can't, I mean, I can't see the charged shot going anywhere after I shoot it.
It might be like a...
Yeah, we use hit scan. We really didn't use a particle because it's hit scan. We use the particles for the charge up. But in terms of like seeing a projectile, we did start with like projectile based, but we found that people kept lagging behind the projectiles. It was discombobulating. So now it's just hit scan. So if that reticle is on the character, it will hit. I'd say some of the biggest problems we had during the semester was our AI. Our AI was a pain to work with. It's still a little buggy.
Yeah, I mean, it works. It does work pretty well, though. Yeah, I mean, all in all, this is really impressive.
So, what was your favorite aspect about designing? Well, can I guess what? No, I'll let you answer this. What was your favorite aspect of, like, making this game?
Making this game, I'd say, is the ending portion. That's if you can make it there. It's all one level.
Oh, the entirety of the project is one level?
Yeah, it's one level. Our initial scope was like way too much. So
I can relate to that. How much? Sorry, how much longer is this? Because I don't know if I want to play the whole thing. I can if you want me to. It's up to you guys.
Let's keep playing as the conversation goes.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, I can send you a link to a YouTube video that shows, like, the ending. I know it's a little hard to pick up in the first few minutes, but I can send you a video of, like, one of us speedrunning the game.
We've still got time in the presentation. We don't have to rush and pull up the video yet.
And I think with the capstone games, we're willing to give a little bit more time to them, just for you guys to kind of... I mean, a lot of us are going to be in capstone, so talking about that experience might be good.
Yeah. Again, I don't want to... I mean, it's kind of weird, because I'm going to be saying the same stuff tomorrow, but... yeah, you can press space to reel in.
Oh, okay. Once again, this very well could have been in tutorials, and I just completely missed it. And if I did, I do apologize. But yeah, okay, yeah. The reeling is really nice. And and sorry for interrupting him, but you're 100% right. I think the reticle, I think doing the reticle was definitely the right decision.
Yeah, I think it was halfway through our development where like we could scan and with a reticle like that, and if you change in between modes, they sort of change. Yeah, and then you get the charge of reticle there. We're pretty happy with how that came out. But yeah, you're getting close to that.
Oh, two of them.
It takes like 3 minutes to complete, but you're getting there. So this is again all one level. We had so much planned for this, but there was no time.
Is it okay if I kind of... I'm sorry I keep on interrupting, but is it okay if I kind of like gush about some of the aspects of this game?
Sure.
I think the decision to like kind of restrict this to one level was really smart because the amount of creativity in just this level. I love the idea that you're like this very small thing in a world that's much bigger than you. And it's like really cool to see the world from this perspective where like acorns are towering over you. There's mushrooms growing out of the wall. And you're just like this small little creature, this bug. Like, I imagine this is taking underneath the ground or something like that.
In a tree. But yeah, that we had a lot of narrative, and that got cut in the first 2 weeks. There was no way we were gonna implement. Yeah, I think you need to jump there.
Yeah, I know.
I was gonna say that like the art direction for this game is like spot on. Another thing I really like about this game is the grapple mechanic.
Yeah.
I think like I hope maybe after you guys kind of like wrap up tomorrow, maybe you decide to like go on and maybe make another level or two that kind of revolves solely around the grapple. And maybe do like a whole platforming section. Because I think there's like a lot of cool stuff that can come from like using the momentum of like reeling in and like flinging yourself to like different places.
That was most of these core mechanics was in our prototype. We were like, we want to make a Doom like with a grapple. That was like, we had I think 3 core mechanics in our prototype: having a gun, having a grapple, and then having wall running. We had to get rid of wall running because it caused too many problems. But we kept the grapple, and we kept obviously the gun.
Okay, sorry, speaking of wall running, somebody in our level design class just straight up coded in wall running into Unreal. Just, I don't know, it was just impressive to me.
I've heard about that. I'd like to see it.
Yeah, sorry to kind of, if that came off as, oh, these people could do it, but you guys couldn't, because that's not what I meant.
No,
I just, yeah.
No, it didn't at all. You're good.
Okay.
Fine.
Honestly, I think that getting rid of like that mechanic probably served the project like better in the long run, because with ours it definitely caused a lot of conflicts. Even when it did work, it was still like just like an added layer of complexity that
Wall
kind of took away
running-
from some other parts of it.
Oh,
I haven't
boss
played too many
fight?
games with wall running, but it
Oh.
definitely sounds like something that would
Oh.
be really difficult to like implement and like get
Oh.
right. Cause like you'd have to think about like how long are you like running on a wall before like you fall off and stuff like that. I can imagine.
Yeah, also our walls weren't straight. That was one of the problems
Oh,
we
yeah,
had.
that makes sense.
So that's, we had to kind of scrap it. No, it didn't break the game, it's just we didn't have the, like, we didn't level design around wall running. We did it more for grappling because we found it was more enjoyable than just wall running.
So, sorry, red reticle is like a crit or something?
Yeah.
I just want to say this is like such a neat concept for a boss.
Yeah.
It's so like imposing.
Ooh, this is one of the things we definitely wanted to keep in.
What was going on there? Was it playing dead or?
Yeah, you like knocked it out and just going through the different boss phases. But the narrative for this game is like you're an assassin bug and like a spider general was like taking over this tree colony. And it had like, we had 4 different enemy types. We only had time to implement 2. We definitely wanted a boss. It was either fighting that spider general or its like pet, which was the chameleon, and we found that it would be much better to fight a chameleon. And then this was our favorite part to work on. It gave our programmer a difficult time just putting it together. I mean, you can still kind of cheese it, but yeah, this I think we started to implement like halfway through.
Okay, so you can't hit it while it's knocked out, it appears.
Right. There are particles on the eyes to indicate. Yeah, I know it's not very clear to the player. That sort of hitting the eye when it's down.
I love the way this fight is presented. Like, even though maybe not all the pieces are like in like the proper place, I think there's like, I love this Zelda-esque design where everything you need is in your moves. The fact that you're supposed to like grapple up to the ceiling to avoid the tongue and shoot down at the lizard is like, I think that's really, really cool. No, I just really love this concept.
Yeah, and initially we had the player using like 3 different weapons, and then Rockstar was like, try to get it to 1. So we made 1 with 2 modes, so technically 2 different types of weapons. But yeah, we wanted to keep the like full auto and semi-auto to give the player some form of like difference. Balancing that was a little tricky. We found like the full auto is good against the lower enemies, and the semi-auto like railgun type mode was good against the chameleon. Yeah, again, if we had like another month, we could definitely have polished this a lot more. Yeah, and that's it. It goes to credits.
Yeah, I gotta say, all in all, like, I wasn't 100% into it at the beginning, but you definitely got me there by the end with the grapple mechanics and the boss. It was it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, like if we had more time to do more levels, like after this level, you'd be into it and going into new levels, but this is literally all we have.
But I mean, like, this is insane enough. Like, I mean, this definitely felt like what? Oh, is that like a loading sign or something?
It's a little joke. But,
Okay. Yeah, like, I mean, that was like really, really polished and really well done. I could tell that you spent a semester on that.
So I do want to like kind of open this up to questions real quick. So I think I'm gonna give it a couple minutes for questions, and then I really want to move on to Germinate, just so we have enough time for that. But does anybody have any questions about Ridu?
So, John, who made the logo for the game?
That was Penn. Penn made
Really?
the logo for us. Yep.
Oh, awesome! Yeah, I didn't realize you made that one. That's really cool.
They were really cool about making logos. I think Penn made both logos for both teams.
Nice.
Yeah, Penn made Germinate's one.
So
Yeah, I'm happy for them.
Tori, you're echoing.
It's because of Toby. He has the speaker on. Sorry, I'm like out of
What are you
house.
doing? I'm just kidding.
Do we have any more questions for Ridu?
I just wanted to say that I really love the look of it, like Chris said, with the giant acorns and stuff. And I think it'd be really cool to have like one level where like the second level could be like the full-on grapple and platformer level, and then a third level goes back to the shoot, and then you fight the spider general at the end. I think it'd be cool to go back to this game.
So,
I do
sorry.
think that not being able to see the bullets like fully travel to the enemy at first is a bit just concerning, but I do think the shooting system is definitely the correct one to do. But I think it still would have been nice to see the bullets somehow.
Yeah. But for the level, before we fleshed out our prototype, we had thought of 8 levels, and then we got it down to 4, and we stayed at 4 for a good like maybe 2.5 weeks. So we obviously we started with this one within a tree. Then we were gonna get down on the ground and go through like a grass area level, and then the next level would have been like a swamp, and then level 4 would have been like an anthill. But then we realized that we had to cut. we started working on level 1, and we're like, we have to cut the rest.
Yeah. Okay. So, I do want to cut this a little bit short, just because tomorrow, the Capstone guys and gals, are going to be at. They're going to be doing their post-mortem, and there you can ask like a ton of questions, and all of the devs will be here. This is kind of like a quick little showcase before Capstone. So I think with that we're gonna move on to Germinate. And I want to say Tori is a dev for that. Is Cam here? No? Okay. So I believe Tori is representing Germinate.
I'm just gonna talk through Toby's mic. Yes.
Cool. And who amongst us is going to be playing Germinate?
That is me.
Yeah.
Woo.
While you set up that, I'm gonna do a little spiel. Was a part of play testing like early versions of this, and it was really cool to see like what it was at the beginning versus like what it is now. I even remember being somewhat harsh to the original pitch of this game, and just seeing that evolve into something like pretty spectacular is kind of a really nice thing. So again, I won't ramble on for too long, but Germinate.
Alright, can people hear this? Or
yes.
Sweet. Glad I got that working then. And like the game you played, Chris, I'm just gonna kind of let the story show itself without too much commentary from me in the beginning, at least.
Good name.
Thank you. I'm really creative. I know. I like their names, by the way. They're all plant themed, but not in your
Their
face.
original names were so stupid. Because they're actually, like, they were real plants that I had that died.
Oh. Damn, got some tragic backstory to the game.
This game is based off of the plants, yeah. Dying, basically. Spoilers.
Well, I guess we don't need to play. Turn it off. We're done.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, it's a stick. Okay, it still works though.
Yeah, we didn't have time to set up all the, like, switching everything over, but when you interact with, like, characters, it switches.
Oh, I love that little leaf animation. Oh. Okay. Crap. I'm not very good at games, so I think I'm... Uh-oh. I'll get the hang of it soon, I promise.
If you hold the jump, you'll go higher.
Oh, I will? Oh, okay. That's good to know.
I think you are playing with your frame rate unlocked too, which is why you're going faster.
There we go. Oh, okay. No, do not touch that. So, I may just be having recently played Hollow Knight, looking too far into it, but it is giving me some of that kind of vibe with
This
the
is
aesthetic.
heavily inspired by Ori, Hollow Knight, and Celeste.
Yeah, I haven't played Hollow Knight in quite a while, but I still got Hollow Knight vibes.
I think
Yeah.
it's the mask, which I really like, and the thing in the UI in the top left.
Oh yeah, that literally, I looked at a screenshot from Hollow Knight and I was like,
Yeah.
this works. I'm gonna use this.
For playing this game, PAX a few weeks ago, and it's amazing how much this has changed since then. Like, this almost looks like a completely different game.
Not that much has changed, really. It's just a lot of bug fixes.
I disagree. I think before the scene was a morning scene instead of like a night scene. You didn't have this
No,
ambiance, you didn't have the foot sounds. I feel like it was
I'm
different.
pretty sure it was all the same.
Okay, keep on undermining everything I'm saying, that's fine.
No, I'm serious. This
No, you're
scene,
cool.
the entirety of this scene was set up like a month and a half into development, so I'm pretty sure it was. Maybe the foot sounds were like louder, but they were there, or they were
I feel
quieter.
like even this level is longer. Maybe I just don't know as much about this game as I thought I did, but I feel like a lot has changed in a positive way.
There was a bit of length added to the beginning, I will admit that. But I thought we added that before the packs, I bet.
I do want to say that, like, I did play this game earlier. Like, I don't know if we'll get to the cave, but it's so cool. Like, you
That
guys
looks just
nailed the ambience in there. It's so good.
Thank you. There's a lot of trial and error.
Very spooky.
What am I doing? That is the question.
I heard Tori said the development team's favorite character was Spinner.
Oh no. We all fucking hate Spinner because for a long time, there was an update I did to the dialogue system, so if you like keyboard smash, it'll like skip through the dialogue way faster. But before, you had to like sit through it. And so every time you'd test any level, Spinner would just talk for way too long. And we'd all want to kill him by the time we like finished testing.
I feel like we're just kind of used to this because we all play games. But yeah, this tutorial is completely new. like the whole thing on the right there, like that was not in the version
Oh,
that I played.
yeah, the quest system is new. Tanner added that in, I want to say, like, last month.
That's a good addition. But
Yeah, it was needed.
Yep.
yeah, it's rare that in games made for this major that there are cutscenes. And it's really cool to see that here.
There are 26 cutscenes.
Damn.
Yeah. I'm tired.
How long is this game?
It's 15 minutes if you know where everything is.
Oh, so
So.
I definitely
probably
don't know where everything is.
I
Probably
took
like
my
30
time with
minutes.
it, so I spent like 25 minutes because I was looking for all the golden leaves.
Why didn't you
It is
die?
very solid.
You got hit by the drift, but then you didn't die. The funny thing is, this area, we redesigned this area multiple times to make it easier. Like, we dumbed it down so much, and people still struggle.
Appreciate it.
That wasn't a dig. It's just like really hard.
No,
to make that
oh
area
crap.
easier.
I mean, just look at me
Yeah.
though. That... Okay.
There's some trial and error, but I thought it was like good.
Thank you.
Definitely looks good.
The game's so pretty.
So I think while we watch Luke struggle a bit, this might be a good time to open things up to questions. Does anybody have any questions regarding the development? And I mean anything really.
I have a question.
Sure.
How was the process behind getting lighting system to look this way and also applying lighting to the background?
Okay, so that's kind of funny. This level actually doesn't have any real lighting. All the shadows are done with like a gradient, a black gradient that fades to transparency that Chris Greeley added. There's a checkpoint there, so if you die, you'll like spawn back there. Just so you know.
Oh, cool.
But in the tree and the cave, there is some very detailed lighting. Basically, I think at some point I just made a shader that can make sprites get lit by 3D lights.
Interesting.
So.
Luke,
So what's-
you can if you hop over to the wall to your left, you can like hop again, but stick to the wall to the left. So like hop and hold left on the stick.
Oh, okay.
And you can keep on doing that to gain height.
Oh. Alright.
Yeah, there you
It's
go.
kind of like the first little tutorial on how to actually like wall jump and cling and all that.
Yep. Cool.
I have a question about animation.
Sure.
Tell me about it. It's not really a question, but it's not frame by frame animation. What techniques are you using?
This is with Unity Bones. The original animations were done with, I believe, Creature, and they were all they were rigged in that software. And then we were having issues porting it because Eric made the original animations, and so they were all sprite sheets. But we were having issues with the sprite sheet size not being consistent between every animation. So Sprig would get like bigger or smaller. So I think there was just one day where we're like, okay, we're just gonna switch to Unity Bones and do all the animations in Unity Bones. So I rigged Sprig using Unity Bones. I gave him a butt because he didn't have a butt before, and I used Eric's base animations to create basically like an updated version of Sprig's animations. And then through feedback from Rockstar, I've been like, I think I updated them 4 or 5 times after that, and added Death and Resurrect and the wall cling, or the wall landing animation, so he kind of like settles against the wall instead of just sticking to it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of in-betweens to do.
Okay. Does anybody have any more? Yeah. Does anybody else have any more questions?
I do. How did you do the music? Like, how did that work?
So the music was something we like knew, or I like knew that would need to kind of be thematic with how the germination works in the game. So when I was meeting with the audio director Shane from Berkeley, they came up with a plan of having 2 layers to each track for each level. So there's like a layer A and a layer B, and they're both playing at the same time constantly. But when the germination happens, that music fades in, and then it just stays at like max volume from there on.
Very cool.
It's really big.
Yeah, this level is huge. Chris Greeley like really went balls to the wall in this level.
Personally, what's the most useful skill you learned with movies?
I could barely hear you. What did you say? Okay.
What's the most useful skill you learned working on this?
I think I've learned a lot of useful skills. It's a good question. I think.
Because I know you're good with like shader graph and stuff.
I didn't really do a lot of shader graph for this. I just made the water shader and that's about it. But I think like in terms of like useful lessons, leading a team was a valuable experience for sure.
Did you expect to be doing that?
Yeah.
Sure.
How many more people do you guys think we can get into Toby's room? Can we get everyone in this chat? Like,
We
just
have yet to
get
even
Toby.
I'm on my way. I knew where it was.
I have a couch. You guys
Let's
wanna
dox
sit down?
Toby.
We're gonna be doing this showcase after party at Toby's room.
No, we're doing the like free breakfast for commuters.
Yeah, which is
Yeah.
in Toby's room.
Oh,
So,
Which is already
that's
happening.
happening.
Yeah.
We're missing it.
So I think I want to end things off here.
Okay.
This game is going to be showcased tomorrow at the postmortem for the Capstone guys. So I think it was nice that you guys were able to like see and hear from some of the devs of the respective teams. But tomorrow, like, you will be able to hear from all of the devs and get all of their experiences. So I highly suggest you go to that. I'll be there, not in person, but I will be watching digitally and probably asking a bunch of really dumb questions.
Good luck.
As you do.
The live stream is going to have a 30-second lag, just so you know. So
Nice.
Very cool.
it's not our fault. It's just because it's sending the signal to space and back.
That's the
If you have a complaint, put it against the satellites.
That's the Pittsburgh seal of approval.
Damn satellites.
Fisher
Yeah.
seal of approval, am I right?
Can I say something?
Yeah, absolutely.
I just want to say I love how when you grab to the wall, you just stay there and you can control you sliding down, because I know a lot of games have like wall jumping, like you can't like hold on to the wall, you just start sliding instantly, and I think it's a nice change of pace where you just kind of hold on to it until you're ready to slide or jump off.
Agree. I think
That was something I really wanted in the game, and I like fought for. Because
Yeah.
the original, like, the wall cling was originally called wall root, and the tree was supposed to teach it to you, so you would literally throw roots out into the wall to stick to it. So
we've got like glide ability now.
you won't have glide until you get all the termites.
You
Can I
might
get
just
out
have
of here?
to take an L.
You're gonna have to like die and
Damn.
just like.
Oh
get out of
yeah,
it.
you didn't get that termite, did you? Yep.
I've missed a few. Yeah.
But,
There are way more than 10 termites because we don't want to punish the player for not finding everything.
even in I remember playing the original, like the game you pitched to everyone to get this into Capstone, and I was actually pretty harsh when it came to the wall cling, but I think in the context of like this much fuller experience, it totally makes sense. And I kind of wish more games had it.
Yeah, it allows for a lot more interesting level design.
Yep.
In Crosscut Hollow, we were gonna put in a wall jump, but like we just did not have time to get it to work, so we had to like build around that fact that we didn't have it anymore.
And there's the
But yeah, the gameplay feels super good in this game. Like compared to like literally the alpha that I downloaded in the very beginning. It's so fun. Like just clinging to the walls and flying.
I'm
love
glad.
it.
There's been a lot of iteration on the movement system. Tanner's done so many updates, fixing so many little things, and it's really come together, I think.
Oh, I do want to cut it off here, just because, again, you guys will be there tomorrow. And also, if you guys don't know, Doc is going to be serving breakfast food, like, now. And,
I want some breakfast food.
I think it's
free for commuters. Free for commuters.
Oh, sick. I'm a commuter. I'm going to go there and get some breakfast food. Thank you all for coming. For the people who like showcase stuff, I do want to thank you for that too, because I think with what we're trying to accomplish with GDSA is to really get people to care about what we're making and to learn from each other and kind of grow this major in a positive way.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
again, yeah. Thank you guys so much for showing up, and thank you guys so much for submitting games.
You're welcome, and thank you for thank you y'all for like hosting it and having the opportunity. Because if that didn't exist, I wouldn't have been able to make this game, honestly, because of timing. So I really appreciate it, and I'm really proud of like what I've been able to do. And y'all did a great job for those who showed stuff off too. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and again, no, like next semester, we have so many like ideas of how, like again, this was like a really quick event we put together, but I think next semester, you could expect something like this, but bigger and better, and at a much more convenient time for everybody. So with that, I hope you all have a wonderful night, and I can't wait to see what you guys work on next.
Thank you too. I will see y'all at the capstone thing tomorrow.
Yeah. Goodbye, guys.
Bye.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Yeah.
Ooh.